different girls say that they're getting sick and couldn't be on tonight. So let me just change the screen here. There we go. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being on. I know it's like crazy the first day back for us moms with our kids back to school, and it's just hard getting back in the swing of things. I know my kids like going to bed last night, and yeah, so I know it's rough. It's rough coming back. So thanks for taking the time to be here. Just a few things for those who may catch the recording. I think all of you know what's going on pretty much, but just in case. I am doing the sneak peek or backstage coaching experience next week on January 11th. If anyone has input, if anyone has ideas for changing that they actually would help me with changing it, I'm open to it. Otherwise, I just have to go back to what I have. I have too many things going on. So let me I'm going to mute you guys.
Sorry.
That's all right. So like if you have some wonderful new idea, I looked around at different teams and really they're all pretty much doing the same thing. Some people put all their videos in like a document, and they look at the document thing, and they'll do a live event where they put up some more videos that they're actually looking live as they pop up. I don't know that, like, if people are working, I don't know. I think I would lose a lot of people to that being live and having to be there at that moment. So if you come up with some genius idea that no other coaches have ever come up with, because I've been sneaking around on what's called the wall where they put the 5-star people looking at different ideas. And Megan Ewaldson is the only one that I saw a little bit of a different flavor. And I actually have don't tell anyone, I have all of her documents from her, how she does a sneak peek. And it really isn't much different than what we're doing. Except she treats them, they do a call on Wednesday night. It's called Wine Wednesday. And they do a call with the people in the sneak peek who she almost treats them like coaches at that point and almost treats it as a team call. I don't know. I feel like I would need to be on it to see how that would even work. So just putting that bug in your ear. That starts January 11th. So if you want to start inviting people who you think would be good coach prospects, it's a good time of year. I feel like people are looking for something new. So, and then my goal is Wine Wednesday or Wine Wednesday. No, wine. They're supposed to bring a glass of wine, or if they don't drink wine, a beverage in a wine glass. That's funny. So that's January 11th. And my goal is to then hopefully get, some people signed up from that. And then that Friday start the new coach training. And like Kim who's on the call right now, like she's going to join that. I have a couple others who are going to hop into that new coach training starting Friday, and it will last 10 days, and it's going to be different. We're not putting our coaches in Team Phoenix unless you really feel strongly about that. My hope is to have a smaller, more intimate group, and I'm doing a video a day, and I have it all broken down with what I'm doing. And it just happened to be that Katie Orhan thought to do something similar at the same time, so we were able to kind of collaborate ideas for what each day would look like. Like one day will, of course, I'm going to freeze up to when I'm thinking of what the days are. But one day is about, the different challenge groups we host. 5 minutes or less, these videos. One day will be about what it means to be a success starter. One day will be about the power hour or like time management. And so there'll be 5-minute videos. They'll have a power hour, basic power hour posted there so that they can work on some of the vital behaviors each of those 10 days. Very basic, like connect with 2 people today. Probably more like 2 for each thing. Connect with 2 people. Invite 2 to a free challenge group. Invite or maybe brainstorm your list of who you think would be a good coach or who you'd want on your team rather than going out and inviting right away. So just kind of introducing them to the vital behaviors. That'll be every day for 10 days. And then the goal then would be for them to hop into an Emerald training that would start on January 25th. So I'm trying to time this so it flows perfectly. January 25th, the Emerald training will start. And yeah, I think, I'm going to do it similar to my last one, if any of you were in that one that I did with Katie and Andrea and myself. And I'm going to use those same videos and kind of go with it. So I think it all should flow really nicely into the next month. And I think I'm going to try to follow that calendar every month now. So there'll be a new coach training once a month. And I feel like I think we're ready for that. I think that Team Phoenix is an awesome platform. Like, we are so blessed to even have something like that. But I think that the intimacy of just a smaller group and the way we're doing this, I think it'll keep people moving along. Everyone in favor, say aye. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so the diamond training started today for those who are pushing for diamond, and I'm going to try to make that available once a quarter, and try to keep it between 45 and 60 days. It's intense, but it works when everyone's doing all the stuff. So, and we had how many diamonds pop out of that group last at the end of last year? A lot. It was really exciting. So that started today. So make sure you're cheering on those people who are in there. And thanks to Kristen for helping me with that group this time. Really helps alleviate some of the workload. Let me just go over the sales this month. The 3-day refresh challenge pack's on sale for $140. To me, it's one of the easiest ones to sell because some people don't want a workout program. And I feel like I have a lot of people that I work with have injuries, so that's a good one if they're like, no, I just want to try Shakeology, to be like, well, for $10 more, you could get the 3-day refresh. That's on sale for $140, so it's a 21-day fix and 21-day fix. Hold on. There we go. And Hammer and Chisel is still on sale for $160. And then our next team call will be January 25th. So you can mark your calendars. I'm going to try to stick to Mondays. I was having a hard time with Sunday nights. I know Team Phoenix does their calls Tuesday nights, but maybe eventually you won't want to be on Team Phoenix calls. Okay, so yeah. Oh, and my goal for January 25th, that call, I'm going to be coming off the New Leader Conference, and I'm hoping that I'll have something exciting to share with you after that. I'm hoping that some of the trainings will be good there. So let's hop in. It is 2016, and it's goal setting time, I feel like, or resolution time for so many people. And this past year was the first year I ever really sat down and wrote out my goals. And I did it with my coach, Megan, in December of 2014. I met her for coffee, and she's like, you should really write down your goals. And I was like, huh? What's that? I don't even know what that means. Why would I do that? And from that time with her, well, first of all, she told me my goals were too small, and I thought she was crazy, but she was right. But from that time, I felt like I was able to know what I was going for. And if I hadn't written them down, you just kind of like flopping around, not really going anywhere. And I think that goes for all areas of our life, not just our business. I think, time with my family, and I'm really involved at church. So the ministry I'm working on there, they need to be written out and clear. There's one quote by Zig Ziglar. You hit what you aim at. I know I've shared this before somewhere. You hit what you aim at, and if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. And that's so true, right?
Yeah.
So let me just share some statistics about goals. It's really interesting, some of this. People with written goals are 50% more likely to achieve than people without goals. 3 out of 100 adults ever write down their goals. Physically write them down. All motivational gurus agree that goals should be written down. Sharing your goals with a close confidant is proven to increase the chances of you achieving your goal. That's a big point. Get us a good success partner, really, because that's someone you could actually share your specific goals with. Or me, you could share with me. I'll always listen. I love it. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. The world's most successful people agree that what you get by achieving your goal is not as important as what you become in the process. I like that one. Like that. Specific goals, which are time-bound and measurable, work best. In the process of achieving your goal, you'll be sacrificing something else. Just true. Sometimes we have to sacrifice the fluff. I just read a really great article it's a devotional by Ann Voskamp today. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice sitting on the couch sometime. This is just about in anything in general, and it's going to be painful reaching for these health and fitness goals and showing discipline. So you're going to have to sacrifice, doing nothing to get what, where you're going and where you're headed. 14% of people have a goal plan in mind, but these are unwritten goals. A Harvard study suggests 83% of the U.S. population do not have goals. So sad. And goals held in the mind are more likely to be jumbled up with the 1,500 thoughts per minute that the average human being experiences. The act of writing down a goal in itself is a very powerful motivator. And writing down goals forces us to avoid being vague. So there's just some little tidbits to think about. A lot of what I share today is going to come from my favorite book. I know you all get sick of hearing me say it, but there's a whole chapter on writing goals. And I mean, it's just Dave Ramsey's EntreLeadership is the best. It really is. So we'll leave it there. But what he says is that we all have dreams in our head. And when you think about a dream, when you wake up in the morning, it's really vague and like jumbled. And you're like, what exactly was I dreaming about? And that's true about our dreams in life in general. It's like hard to pinpoint where we're going when we think about a big dream. Like, I think my big dream is to bring my husband home, but like, where do I even start with that? Right. So we have these dreams, and they're essential to like winning, but they aren't well defined. I feel like it's just kind of it's like a dream far out there. And how am I going to get there is the important thing of figuring that out. So with that, we need to have vision and the ability to see where we're going. So I like what Dave Ramsey says about taking your dreams and your visions and putting them into mission statements for your family, for yourself and your business. And what he said is it like gives you further clarification of your dreams and vision and assures that when you write out your goals, that they're aligned to the target of where you're going. So he has 3 different vision statements, even though in a business they say you should only have one, but he said poo-poo to that. I have 3. I have one for my business which is his ministry, one for his family, and one for his personal life. And I'm going to write mine out this year, my vision statement. I've never really had one for my family. I remember I had a friend in Florida who did, and I thought she was a little strange. Or I thought it was strange that she had this vision statement. I didn't really understand why, but I think it's important, and or mission statement. And the mission statement has value to us because it's a statement of what we are to ourselves and who we are not too. And I think like when you become successful, there's several things that can make you vulnerable. Like I'm going to use an example of, I had a couple opportunities that came my way. And if I'm really thinking about what my mission statements are with my business, these opportunities were a distraction. They weren't bad. They weren't bad things, but they're a distraction from where I was going with my business. And one of them was the ROC Eats Real project. Awesome thing, right? Like really cool. I get to share recipes and stuff. It was like a tipping point for my anxiety. It was an extra project put on my plate that I probably should have said no to. At a different point in time, it may have been fine, but that an opportunity may not look bad, but it can be a distraction from that mission statement. And I really feel like if I had that clearly written out for my business, for my personal life and my family, I probably would have said no. Like I probably would have realized that I should have said no to that I was out of balance, I guess, because I think all three should be balanced. And another one was as of recent when I looked into becoming an instructor and then doing a project at the local gym. Awesome opportunity in the right time, but I don't think it lines up with what I'm trying to do with my business. So he is an example of a realtor who had a very successful business, and someone asked him to invest in something else, which looked good at the time, and he did. But it ended up going sour, and he was so worried about his investment in this other business that he let his whole real estate business crumble because it was a distraction. So we need to make sure that we have these written out, these mission statements. I think that it's important for all of us to have them in all areas. The more I read about them, I think it's just an easy way to realize, this is who I am. This is not who I am. Let me flip over. So that brings us to our goals. So we start with our dream and our vision, our mission statements, and then the goals is putting like our dreams and vision and mission statement to work. It's actually converting these things into energy, right? I was just talking to one of you on this call yesterday about how goals are scary, right? And it can be intimidating because that means, once we write out our goals, we actually have to go for it, right? Whereas when it's just a dream, you don't really have the actual steps in place. What some people don't like about this, like when they hear like the dream big or, get those big, hairy, scary goals in place, it's because there's like a lot of literature out on that now and a lot of motivational speakers who will say, you can achieve anything. And I like that Dave Ramsey says, no, you can't. You're a person, you'll never be able to fly. Like there are some things, like he said, I'm a short, squatty man. I am never going to be an NBA basketball player, no matter how much I want to be. And I like that. That it would be like me saying, I want to be a millionaire my first year as a Beachbody coach. That's just not realistic. So we need to make sure that these goals are realistic. We aren't living in la la land, but we need to push ourselves as well. So there is something called the Wheel of Life, which I'm not sure how many of you have seen it, but this Wheel of Life, you might want to write this down, because the Wheel of Life, we should have a goal for each of the spokes, I guess you could say, on this Wheel of Life. And I turned them all into F words, not bad F words, good F words. Number one would be family. You should have a goal for your family. You should have a fitness and food goal. You should have a friend goal, like your social life. Yes, we all should have one. No matter how much my husband thinks he doesn't need one. You should have a free time goal. What's that? I don't know what free time is. We should have, for many of us, a faith goal, a spiritual life. We should have a financial/business goal, and even a fun goal. Punta Cana is my fun goal. I'm already more excited about that than the cruise. So what I like that he said, he didn't use that wording, but I'm changing. I don't know, it's the teacher in me. Everything should start with an F. Is that you can't have like a nail in the outside of your tire over at the friend one, and you can't have a nail over at the fitness and food one, because then it's going to end up being a flat tire. It's not going to be productive. It's not going to move forward. So we need to be in balance. Some of these are going to be easier for us than others. I think, I don't know, I'm speaking, so I'll say for me, I think that the financial/business one is easy for me because I'm a very goal-driven person. So I'm achievement-driven, which can be very unhealthy because my tire is really blown up over there and my free time one is flat. I'm not taking time to unwind and decompress and do the things I like to do. Like I have hobbies. Like I love to sit at the beach with a book. I don't think I've done that in a long time. I mean, I'm in New York, but or at the spa with a book. I don't know, where do I go when it's freezing cold? I had the tendency to, I think, not to ignore my family at times too, because I don't know. I'm goal driven. I want to hit that next goal, that next mark. And I feel like I'm not satisfied. So I'm being vulnerable with you all here. So it's really important that we have each of those goals written out. And he used a story, Dave Ramsey did. He said that his weak area is social, which would be like friends, that him and his wife would see people at church and would say, oh, we should have dinner sometime. We should have dinner. And they never would. So finally, when he put that into like an action plan and he wrote out a goal, they had all these dinners lined up in January because they're like, you have to practice to get used to it. And he's like, it's almost like painful for him, which he says is strange because he's a people person, but it's painful for him to like go and socialize because he wants to work on, he's a business obviously minded man too. So he's like, that's just easy for me. But they line these all up. And he said, slowly but surely, he's starting to enjoy doing the dinners with these people and enjoy spending time with them. And it's just the way we're created too. We need to have balance in our life. Obviously we'll have different gifts that line up with the different F words, but we need to make sure that they're all in balance. So what I would challenge each of you to do is come up with your mission statements and then put a goal in place for each of these. And when you're writing out your goals, not, I want to do this, put the I will in front of it. I will, in 2016, for me, my family, I will spend an hour a day unplugged from everything. My kids won't be watching TV. My husband won't be on his computer, which would be like the first time ever in the history of his life. I won't be on my phone for 1 hour a day with my children. That is going to be hard for me. But if I put it into words and if I share that, well, I just shared it all with you. So I guess y'all can keep me accountable. Yeah, don't ask me next week. But it's more likely to happen. So we all know, I'm sure, I'm not going to assume we all know how to write our goals out in the SMART way, which I share with my challengers often. I feel like if you've been in my challenge group, you've probably seen it before. But it needs to be SMART is the acronym. S for specific. State exactly what you want to accomplish. The who, the what, the where, the why. So if I'm doing a health and fitness one, I gained 10 pounds this past year. I think mostly related to anxiety meds, but also it caused me to be a little bit more relaxed and lazy, I feel like. So I have a food and fitness goal of I will lose 10 pounds by July. And how am I going to do that? I will exercise 5 to 7 days a week. I will eat clean 90% of the time. Then that needs to be measurable. Like, how am I going to measure it? The 5 to 7 days a week. That's the M in SMART. The 5 out of the 7 days of the week. It needs to be achievable. So me saying I will lose 20 pounds by July is not realistic for me. So don't give yourself something that you can't achieve. Otherwise, you'll just lead to frustration and you'll give up. And then it needs to be relevant. So I think the way to know that is, does it align with your mission statement and your dreams? If you're writing out these goals. If it doesn't line up with that, then you might need to rethink what you're choosing. And then time bound. I don't know if you saw my post I put up on my like page. My little guy was watching me reread this again tonight. And he's like, what does all this mean? So I was like, explained to him basic, and he loves watching Shark Tank with my husband. And so he was like, so that would be like the time bound. I will be on Shark Tank with my invention by the age of 21. And I was like, yeah, that's right. that's that's a time bound goal. Very good, buddy. So I guess if a 7-year-old can understand, I guess we all can too, right? A couple other things to mention. So make sure they're SMART goals, and I can post this in Team Fitwell, so you can have that visual. And I'll even take a picture of my what's it called, my wheel of life. A couple other things to mention about that. Goals have to be yours and yours only, unless it's like a family goal, then it should be something you discuss with your spouse, I think. But I think a lot of times in my past, I've put goals in my head based off of what I think my husband would want me to do. Which, I mean, I want to respect my husband always. I don't want you to get me wrong. But I think that, or here would be a better example. I'll pick a goal to appease my mom because I'm a people pleaser. So, like, your goals should be your own and your family's. Immediate family. They should be communicated to someone around you that you feel really close with. I think like a success partner would be perfect, especially when they're your business goals. Your spouse would be really great for a family goal. Even a success partner you could share your family goals with. Some of these, some of you girls are like very close, and some of you are like my best friends. Like, I feel like we could really bounce ideas off one another. So communicate them to those around you. And then here's a big one. Taking time to celebrate when you reach a goal is really important, I think. Sometimes if you're a goal-oriented person, like which I think a lot of coaches are, we tend to hit it and then go right to the next one. And I think it's important that we take some time to reflect on, what you overcame to get to that goal. And also time to assess when you don't hit it, within that time bound, and seeing, when do I need to adjust? And it's okay. That doesn't mean that we need to give up because we don't hit it by that specific date. I know when I set my diamond goal date in writing, I missed it by like a month. And I was like, oh, do I just give up? And I don't know. You just have to commit that you're going to keep going when the times get tough. And what are the tools? Some really good tools to have when you're doing your goals. I get a good planner that you feel comfortable writing in. This one's the Happy Planner from Michaels. I got it 50% off, so it was like cheap. I think it was only like $15 or something when it was all said and done. But get something that you can write in. You know what's awesome about this? There's actually a spot for goals for each month.
Wow.
So October goals. So it's like set up for that, and it's reasonably priced. The other one I had was not. Then, I like how there's spots for each day to write out. And I know everybody has their own that works for them. So make sure you get a good planner. And then for coaches, obviously, a Power Hour record sheet will help you reach your specific business goals. And, I'm a firm believer in that. I think any successful coach would say you need to get it. I am trying a different format that Lauren Friedman from Team Phoenix put together. It has some different options. I was trying it for the week. For the first time, I wanted something fresh, and I'm already seeing where I'm going to have to adjust it just from day one. So once I get this one adjusted, I'll share it with you. But I think as time goes on, it's going to look different this isn't working for me anymore. But at the beginning, it was great. Actually, the first month or so, this even overwhelmed me because there was like, oh my goodness, 3 to 5 new friends a day. Where am I going to come up with those people? Like, I think it made me want to barf whenever I looked at the sheet. So maybe adjusting it down a little bit. But as time goes on, and I think as you hit diamond or above, your Power Hour is going to look different. which, in the Diamond group, I could share a little bit of how I think it should be changing. So I wanted to just mention those would be good tools for goal setting. And then getting a big whiteboard and writing down, I think, your mission statement on it, or even a big chalkboard somewhere where your family, like one for your family, and then maybe one by your desk, your mission statement for your business. I think those are good ideas. And I want to end with this quote and then share one thing that Stark had a great idea. So this quote was on page 43 in Ontario Leadership, and I like it to end with it. It's W. Clement Stone. I think there is something more important than believing. Action. The world is full of dreamers. There aren't enough who will move ahead and begin to take concrete steps to actualize their vision. Like that quote. So Beth had mentioned, she wrote me an email over the holidays, and I kind of put it aside. I was trying to unwind. But for those coaches who are local, at the end of this month, we're going to get together for a little end of year party. I'm sorry if you're not local. You're welcome to fly here. You could stay with me. But we are going to do vision boards. So what I would like those of you who are on this call and who listen in, I would like you to get your mission statement written down for each of the different things, and then a goal for each of your F's on the wheel of life, so that we can kind of go from there. I think that'll help when we're putting them together. And I'm meeting with Beth this week and I'm hoping we can chat about that a little bit more, what that'll look like. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm hopeful that you can get things written out. I think oh, and Angel, you're so nice. Florida girls can be Angel's house. And I'm looking through the questions. Lots of questions. Sorry. I blocked it. No financial here. Tampa girls interested in doing it. Yeah. You should put together a how-to, and then us warm Florida people, we can do it too. Okay, I'll put together like what Beth and I talk about when I see her this week. For you.
You can send it to me.
Okay.
Because you can be here. So.
Sure. I'd love to. I think it'll be fun. Does anyone have questions? I mean, it's not really much to question about, but does anyone have like a mission statement for their family? Has anyone written down specific goals in the past? Maybe not necessarily business goals, but others.
I mean,
difference between family and personal.
I was trained in sports psychology, so all I do is goals.
Are you sick of them?
Yeah. No. I do write down goals and mission statements. I don't think I've done it much for Beachbody, but I've done it for other aspects of my life.
Right. Difference between family and personal. Family, I think, would be like time with your family and how you want to raise your children, how you want to help with your grandchildren. I think personal, like I'm thinking about this past year, and I think I meshed personal and family a little too much. And that's when I came into some anxiety issues this past year. I wasn't taking care of myself emotionally. I don't know if I'm sharing too much with you all, but I think there is a difference. And I think a lot of women, we find, like, being a mom is my pride and joy, my number one thing, but I wasn't taking care of myself emotionally. So I think that we need to have personal goals for ourselves, and like whether that be spending some time doing personal development, taking a nap every once in a while, getting enough sleep. I think those are all personal things and health too, feeding ourselves well, exercising. Grocery shopping and laundry is not personal time. Correct.
Well, Jen, I have to do really small ones, but then once I have done them, then I add something else, because I can't really go big. I have to do little tiny baby steps. Like we're doing this, and then we're doing this.
I think everyone should have a big something, and then you break it down into little things.
the little.
It's like that dream thing that's so vague and up here. I think it's good for us. And then you break it down into the baby steps, the mini goals. However, grocery shopping without kids kind of is. I agree. I love going to the grocery store by myself. I will share that wheel. I changed his, so I'll rewrite it and make it pretty on Rana or something for you all. Anything else? You're currently doing, oh, yeah, I remember doing that back in the day, the Shalene's push group. Good for you for doing that. That's a big time commitment. I signed up for that. How crazy is this? Like the first month I started coaching. So I was doing my first groups and learning what it was to be a coach and being in the new coach training and doing Shalene's 30-day push group with Megan, of all people. She's scary. I'm just kidding. Fertile.
Auto corrected. I did free time. Free time turned into fertile.
Funny. I promise I'll put it together for you all. Last thing, we only have less than a minute. The Success Club trip. If you are hitting Success Club 5 every month, your trip will pretty much be paid for if you sign up this month. So consider it. The dates will be up. I think it's the 19th for anyone who had a certain title attached to them. It would be